Welcome to the True Alien Podcast. Get ready for today's paranormal probe, because we've got a truly bizarre one for you.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving into file hashtag 12, the Pampa Livestock Attack. This happened back in 2002, down in Argentina.
Ah, La Pampa. Right. I remember this wave. Not your average animal attacks, were they?
Not even close. We're talking multiple dead cows, different ranches, desolate plains, and official stories that just don't add up.
That's putting it mildly. The sheer number of incidents across different locations over weeks,
Yeah.
that was the first big red flag.
Exactly. It wasn't just one poor cow here or there. This was a pattern. Something systematic seemed to be happening out there.
And the way they were found, that's what really takes it into strange territory. Ranchers kept describing these incredibly clean cuts.
Right. Surgical precision. That's the term you hear. Not torn flesh like you'd expect from, a puma or something.
Precisely. They talked about laser-like cuts, maybe heat-based, specifically targeting soft tissues.
Yeah, things like eyes, tongues, udders, genitals, even rectums. Very specific, very targeted. It feels deliberate.
And then there's the blood. Or rather, the complete lack of it.
Ah, the bloodless aspect. That's probably the most head-scratching part, isn't it?
Absolutely. No blood at the incision sites, no blood pooled around the body.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen in a typical attack?
It doesn't. You'd expect a mess. This suggests something advanced, like cauterization maybe, or something else entirely.
Some process we just don't understand. Adds to the whole enigma.
And it gets weirder. What about tracks?
That's the thing. There weren't any. No predator tracks, no human footprints, no tire marks, nothing.
So how did the cows get there? How were the procedures done?
Some were even found in really awkward spots, places hard to get to. It led to speculation. Maybe they were moved?
Dropped from above. Wow, okay.
What?
That's unsettling. Just appeared there, basically.
And then the local wildlife's reaction, or lack thereof.
Right. The scavengers wouldn't touch them, at least not initially. Vultures, local predators, they stayed away.
Which is highly unusual. Carrion birds are usually quick on the scene.
Tells you something was fundamentally wrong, doesn't it? Like they sensed something unnatural.
Their instincts picked up on something.
Ugh.
Something the official investigators maybe didn't want to acknowledge.
Well, speaking of local reactions, you inevitably heard the whispers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, chupacabras. It's almost a default explanation for weird livestock stuff down there.
Understandable, maybe turning to folklore when faced with the inexplicable, but does it fit the evidence?
Not really. The surgical precision, the lack of blood.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like the descriptions of a mythical beast tearing things apart.
Meanwhile, what did the authorities say? SENASA, the Agricultural Health Agency.
Well, their explanations often felt quite lacking. They tended to blame foxes or natural causes, maybe disease.
Foxes. Performing laser surgery and cleaning up all the blood seems like a stretch.
A big stretch. It highlights this massive disconnect between what people were seeing on the ground and the official reports. Classics, something complex is being overlooked or ignored.
If not foxes or chupacabras, where did the speculation turn next?
Predictably, the UFO community took notice. The details seem to align with theories about extraterrestrial activity,
Like biological sampling. Conducted by who?
often attributed to grays or similar entities. The idea is they're collecting samples, maybe monitoring the environment, maybe harvesting genetic material.
On why cows?
Well, they're large mammals, physiologically not that dissimilar from humans in some basic ways, relatively easy to access in remote areas. Maybe good indicators of environmental toxins, lots of speculation there.
The precision, the apparent tech involved, the bloodlessness, it all points away from earthly explanations for many researchers.
It really does, which brings us to a key takeaway, I think.
Which is?
Don't automatically dismiss explanations just because they sound outlandish, especially when the mundane ones completely fail to fit the facts.
Good point. The lack of a plausible earthly explanation here is significant. You have to at least consider other possibilities.
And that bloodless factor, it strongly implies a technology or maybe a biological process that's just not in the playbook of known predators or natural decay.
It's a recurring signature in these cases, isn't it?
Across many alleged mutilation cases, yes.
Okay, here's a darker thought. If this is some kind of sampling, could livestock just be practice?
That's a chilling implication. The idea that it could escalate or that humans might be subjects. It's purely speculative, of course, but it hangs in the air with cases like this.
Makes you think. So, for anyone trying to wrap their head around this, are there specific terms people use?
Yeah, there's some jargon, some serious, some
Mm-hmm.
less so. You hear short for mutilation.
Okay.
Then maybe more tongue-in-cheek terms like laser cows because of the cuts.
Ha, okay. Laser cows. Got it.
Field surgery to describe the precision in, well, a field. And maybe even things like sky bastards for the hypothetical perpetrators. And some dismiss the folklore angle with terms like chupa bullshit.
Right. Helps to know the lingo. And we have some accounts from people on the ground, right? Even paraphrase, they paint a picture.
Absolutely. Imagine a gaucho saying the cuts were perfecto, like with heat, no blood, and his dogs were terrified, wouldn't go near.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Or a rancher just completely frustrated asking how a fox could do that kind of work and leave zero blood. It defies logic for them.
And neighbors were calling strange, silent lights hovering nearby the night before discovery. These personal stories really hammer home the inconsistencies with the official narrative.
They capture that bewilderment and, honestly, the fear these events caused.
Definitely. Now let's play devil's advocate or maybe conspiracy advocate. Imagine a leaked document.
Ooh, a leaked document WTF moment. What's in it?
Heavily redacted, of course. Mentions finding non-terrestrial compounds near incisions. Recommends level 5 information containment. Official cause listed. Clostridium infection.
A common bacteria covering up non-terrestrial compounds. That screams cover-up, doesn't it? Raises questions about what authorities might actually know or suspect.
It fits perfectly into that narrative of potential suppression of information, a common theme in ufology and unexplained phenomena.
So, based on this, maybe some dark humor is in order. Alien encounter rules. Gampa edition. Rule 1.
Rule 1. If your cow looks like it's had precise surgery and is weirdly bloodless, that's probably not normal wear and tear.
Rule 2. Seeing strange, silent lights hovering over your livestock. Bad sign. Maybe bring the cows inside.
Rule 3. If you encounter small gray beings wielding what looks suspiciously like melon ballers, run away. Avoid eye contact.
Definitely avoid the melon ballers. It's gallows humor, but it underscores how bizarre this all was.
It does. Let's talk about Esteban's account again. That felt very real.
Yeah, he described the cuts as perfecto, machine-like, eye gone, tongue gone, other parts, no blood. His dogs, usually brave, were terrified.
And his frustration with the official explanation, it was a fox. He knew it wasn't.
He even mentioned this lingering feeling since 2002, like he was being watched, like the sky itself felt different. That's haunting.
It's a powerful personal testimony that directly contradicts the official, often dismissive reports. You can almost hear the radio news bulletin.
Right. Static local authorities attribute recent livestock deaths to potential exposure to toxic weeds and clostridial diseases.
Toxic weeds that perform surgery. It sounds absurd when you contrast it with the eyewitness details.
It really erodes trust, doesn't it? Fuels speculation even more.
Absolutely. Okay, let's dive into some brain candy, some interesting tidbits and trivia around this.
Lay it on me.
There's the story, perhaps apocryphal, of a local vet, Dr. Enrique Mendoza. Supposedly, his initial findings pointed to electromagnetic residues, cauterization, weird stuff.
And then?
Then his official report allegedly changed to undetermined causes, followed by an early retirement. Coincidence? Or pressure?
Makes you wonder. And Sanasa's role in all this?
Their consistent downplaying is notable. Wild dogs with surgical tools. Nutrient deficiencies causing laser cuts. It often felt like they reached for any conventional explanation, no matter how ill-fitting.
Almost like a policy of mandatory mundanity.
You could say that. It raises serious questions about the objectivity of their investigations at the time.
And we need to remember the scale. This wasn't just a few isolated incidents.
Not at all. The 2002 wave, as it's sometimes called, involved hundreds, possibly thousands of animals across Argentina. It was a significant event.
A widespread phenomenon. And did any classic UFO indicators pop up?
Yes. Some reports mentioned compasses spinning wildly near the carcasses or electronic interference with radios or vehicles. Classic details from UFO encounter reports worldwide.
Okay, so connecting the dots. How does this Pampa case potentially blow up the bigger conspiracy theories?
Well, first, it's a prime example of the global mute phenomenon. These precise, bloodless mutilations aren't unique to Argentina in 2002. They've been reported for decades all over the world.
US, Canada, Europe, Australia. Same weird characteristic.
Exactly. That suggests it's not just isolated weirdness, but possibly part of a larger, maybe coordinated ongoing phenomenon, whatever it is.
Which leads to some really out there theories, right? Like secret agreements.
The alien government accords theory. It's dark. The idea that maybe governments know, maybe there's a deal access for biological sampling in exchange for technology or non-interference, or who knows what. Pure speculation, but it persists.
And the purpose of the sampling itself. What are the theories there?
Could be environmental monitoring, checking our planet's health, pollutants, radiation levels maybe.
Or something more sinister, like prepping for biological warfare, assessing vulnerabilities.
That's also been speculated. The motives remain completely unknown, which allows for both benign and terrifying interpretations.
What about human involvement? Could some of it be psyops?
The idea that some mutilations might be staged by human agencies, military, or intelligence to create fear, confusion, or maybe discredit genuine UFO reports. It's a possibility considered by some researchers. Very difficult to prove, though.
Or could it be acclimatization, a slow burn introduction?
The theory that these events are designed to gradually get humanity used to the idea of non-human intelligence, making eventual open contact less shocking. A slow reveal.
Wow, lots to unpack there. Any sort of mic drop summary lines for this case?
How about, welcome to the Pampa, where the cows are missing more than just their dinner?
Nice. Or, forget natural causes. These cows look like they visited an alien operating room and forgot their copay.
Or, the only thing more mysterious than the mutilations is the official explanations.
That's a good one. And if foxes are doing this, they deserve a Nobel Prize in advanced surgery and stealth.
Definitely. Let's imagine some more witness voices just to add flavor. A gaucho's log entry.
Okay. Day 47. Found another one by the watering hole, same as the others. Clean cut, no blood. Tongue gone clean out. Felt cold, like something was watching from the hills.
Captures that isolation and creepiness. What about a skeptical online comment?
A Reddit snippet. My uncle lives near there, said they found one cow, just the eye removed, like perfectly scooped out. Vet told him, probably a bird. Yeah, right. Hashtag chupa bullshit.
Perfect. Captures the disbelief. And maybe an anonymous insider hint.
An email. Can't say who I am. My aunt worked comms for the local police back then. She heard chatter. Orders came down. Dismissed these as animal attacks. Period. No matter what the report said.
Chilling. Suggests that possibility of an official directing to keep a lid on it.
So let's try to pin down some uncovered facts they might have tried to bury. What stands out?
Number 1. The consistent organ selection. Eyes, tongues, genitals, rectums, udders. It wasn't random. The same soft tissues were targeted repeatedly.
Suggests a specific biological purpose, right, not just random feeding.
Exactly. Number 2, that lack of scavenging, especially initially, it remains a significant anomaly defying simple explanations.
Something about the carcasses repelled them. Number 3.
Heat signature anomalies. There were some unconfirmed reports, whispers really, of lingering heat near the incision sites, suggesting cauterization by some advanced means.
High-tech heat source. And number 4.
Presence of unusual chemicals. Again, mostly anecdotal, but some reports mention odd residues or compounds found on or near the bodies that didn't fit the environment.
All complicating the simple "Fox did it" narrative.
Immensely. Okay, trivia time. Any pop culture echoes or interesting connections?
Oh, absolutely. This whole scenario screams the X-Files, doesn't it? Mulder would have been on the first flight to Buenos Aires.
Definitely an X-File waiting to happen. The truth is out there. Maybe near a mutilated cow.
And understanding the Chupacabra's lore provides important cultural context. It shows how people grapple with the unexplained using existing frameworks.
Folklore steps in where science or official explanations fall short. It's a coping mechanism almost.
We should also mention serious researchers like Jacques Vallée. He's looked into mutilations for decades, considering complex possibilities beyond simple ET visitation.
Right, it reminds us that serious, credible people have investigated this, treating it as a genuine puzzle, not just B-movie fodder.
And maybe timing is everything. Argentina was going through significant economic and social turmoil around 2002. Could that context have influenced reporting or perception?
Possibly. High-stress periods can sometimes correlate with increased reports of unusual phenomena or perhaps influence how authorities respond. It's a factor to consider.
So what's the legacy of the Pampa attacks?
Well, they certainly fueled the fire of UFO and cattle mutilation research. They stand as a major, well-documented cluster of events.
And fundamentally, it remains an unsolved mystery. Despite investigations, theories, no definitive conventional explanation holds up to scrutiny.
Which is why it continues to fascinate and disturb. It feeds into our pop culture nightmares, our fear of the unknown, of unseen forces.
It taps right into that primal, are we safe question. If this can happen, what else is out there? How vulnerable are we?
Absolutely. And on a positive note, maybe, events like this have spurred citizen science and reporting. People feel empowered to share experiences and question official narratives.
True. So what about alternate takes? We've touched on ETs, government plots, weird animals. Anything else?
Oh, the spectrum is wide. Undiscovered terrestrial predators with bizarre biology. Unknown natural phenomena mimicking surgical cuts. Even wilder stuff like interdimensional entities briefly interacting with our reality.
Batshit crazy theories welcome.
In the absence of proof, all theories are on the table, from the plausible to the, well, batshit. It encourages thinking outside the box.
And it's crucial to remember this wasn't just Argentina. Look at similar cases. The U.S. mute wave in the 70s, Snippy the horse back in the 60s.
Right. Connecting these dots paints a picture of a long-standing global mystery. The Pampa attacks are a significant chapter, but not the whole book.
So wrapping this up for today, the big question for you listening, what do you make of the Pampa Livestock Attack?
Was it extraterrestrials conducting fieldwork? Secret human experiments? A new predator with unsettling skills?
Oh, yeah.
Something completely different.
The details are what make it so compelling, aren't they? The precision, the bloodlessness, no tracks, the official denials. It's far stranger than just cows died.
That's where it gets really interesting, considering those core anomalies. They just don't fit easily into our standard boxes of explanation.
So this paranormal probe into file #12 definitely leaves us with, frankly, more questions than answers. It really highlights how vast the unknown might be.
And the potential for genuinely bizarre things to happen. Things that challenge our whole understanding of reality right under our noses or out on the plains.
Think about those implications. If this kind of precise, unexplained event can occur, what else is possible? What other strange truths might be out there?
It encourages us to keep an open mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To question assumptions and acknowledge the limits of our current knowledge. There's still so much we don't know.
So keep those strange details in mind. Stay curious, folks, and never ever stop questioning the official narratives. Until our next paranormal probe, keep watching the skies.
And maybe, if you're in ranching country, consider investing in some extra security, or at least a very confused guard dog. Stay skeptical, stay curious.